I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Yeah, those Goonies is Pacific
far
Northwest.
Northeast.
It's far up there. It's far
You
up there, y'all.
northeast, I far northeast.
Why do you sound Asian?
Because you don't. It's a movie reference. You east coast, I far east coast.
So you know what else is a movie reference?
Chris Tucker being in Shanghai Nights.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. No, I was no, we're not going back down the Shanghai incident. No, I was just trying to make an Alec Baldwin segue.
No, I tried to do a good segue earlier, and you
you segued in the middle of something non-segueable.
So you could have segued right there. We were in there. It was. What do they call that?
In the middle of my week, we'll segue to the actual.
Welcome to the.
You segued in the middle of your week. Wait till you go back and listen to this recording. You literally said, and from that I'll segue into this and started talking about something else. So you literally segued in the middle of your own week.
Yeah,
I didn't. Me for trying to segue in.
I didn't segue into something unrelated.
Welcome to the part of the show called Ricky and Fuck Your Rules.
That's right. Rules are for pussies.
Either way, so back to Alec Baldwin and him shooting people.
Yeah.
Person.
Back to it. Speaking of Rusty, let's talk about
he
the movie
actually
Rust.
shot people. Yeah, speaking of Rust. So Alec Baldwin will be, or has been, depending on when this comes out, charged with involuntary manslaughter. Now,
which
not
I
just
think,
him,
if we go back to the episode, I think that's what we said.
Well, here's the problem. He wasn't charged with anything before. And the previous lawsuit was the wrongful death suit against the production company.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that ironed out now. This is
but
the
I think
direct
if
charges.
you go back and listen to it when we were talking about it, I think I said that. I think I said it was going to be involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah,
because
we all
did
said
not purposely actively shoot her.
No, the point is he still did. Now it's not just him.
He did by accident.
Yeah,
that's the
involuntary that's part. The whole exact. But and the manslaughter part, right?
Yeah,
it's not premeditated, right? So anyway,
yeah, it's not murder because we were never giving him murder unless they could prove cause. But the fact that he did do the thing. He did shoot somebody, manslaughter. So either way, so not just him. It is the armor as well. Hannah Gutierrez.
Montana.
That's Gutierrez. I think there's another name in there since she got married since, but either way. And then the third guy, which was the AD, if I remember correctly, I think it was the assistant director, but he did a plea deal.
The director. It's the director.
No, he was the assistant.
I'll
Who's the assistant to the assistant of the regional manager?
I looked it up this morning. Dennis Hall was the director. I will double check, but keep going.
Okay. Well, the story I read before was that it was the AD.
He was the assistant to the regional manager.
Well, the reason why it was the AD is because he's the one who actually handed the gun to Baldwin.
Right.
Like, so it went from her to the other guy to Alec. So, and he pled out under different circumstances, blah, blah, blah. He took the plea deal. He's doing the thing. Whatever he's gonna serve or whatever, it's that. So
it was Alec Baldwin. I get no time.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even that. He just said, "Look, I did what I did. It is what it is. Whatever." So it means it will likely be going to trial. But the important thing was
not if you plea out, you don't go to trial.
Well, if he pleas out, it's going to be hard to deal with. So either way.
But when you plea out, you also have to admit guilt.
Yeah, you have to admit guilt, which we'll get to later.
Yep.
So the thing is here, the important part is that when they did the investigation on set, that they found live ammo, obviously not just in the gun that was shot, but
it was mixed in with all the other stuff.
Laying on the table where they loaded the weapon, and also on the bullet belt that he was wearing at the time. So someone, which they'll never be able to prove who, did introduce live ammo into the set. And we already know that had happened due to previous incidents where they were shooting the guns used in the movie after hours, just shooting cans, whatever they were doing with real ammo. We know that happened, but we do not know, we'll never know who brought that ammo in. Someone in the crew. Or possibly someone from outside the crew who was just coming to play on set after the hours. we already know
some
that
Scooby-Doo shit where like she hated the girl because she was sleeping with her man, so she slipped real bullets in or some bullshit.
Yeah,
could be something.
But you would have to. Okay, so bringing the live bullets in doesn't mean that anybody was planned to be murdered, right? Because how the hell do you plan who Alec Baldwin's going to point the gun at when he pulls the trigger? Right?
It's called a script.
Yeah,
it's literally called a script that tells you exactly who's going to point the gun
at the cinematographer. Why would you anyway? So
yeah, exactly. And then but the biggest issue is the same thing we've argued months ago. If you've been through any kind of training with a weapon, whether it's on set or other, you know you don't point a weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy. The fact that the weapon was pointed at all towards human beings, whether there was live ammo in it or not, was already a major safety violation. And that anyone allowed that to happen, like if you just set the camera and the people walked off to get that shot, then no issue. Because then you would have no way for them to be shot because they were shot due to the line of firing. Now, all the other stress, all the other nonsense behind the scenes, fine. But the way he came out and he talked about it, I didn't do this, I fought this, the weapon went off on its own, blah, 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 blah. He should have never fucking talked. Like, he has made himself look so fucking bad compared to the evidence.
Yeah. So the biggest stupidest thing he did, right, is he said he never pulled the trigger, which they very quickly determined the type of revolver that they were using cannot be discharged without pulling the trigger.
Yeah. And the hammer being pulled back.
Right.
Which meant that the hammer had been pulled.
Yeah.
And the trigger was pulled.
And he had squeezed the trigger, right?
Yeah.
And a number of other things that went wrong in this scenario was so. And I'm sorry, it is the first assistant director, so I apologize. You were right. Dave Halls took a plea most likely because he already had a charge against him in regards to a number of safety violations. One of them being there's live ammunition on the set, and the policies by the film guild, whatever it's called in the US.
Everybody,
right?
Yeah.
They're all like, you don't need live ammo on set. There's no need for live ammo. Blanks can give you whatever effect you're trying to go for, right?
Or just dummies and CG.
But we learned from The Crow that you don't point dummies even directly at someone.
Well, no, you don't point blanks. Dummies can't do anything. They literally are.
Well, blanks, I meant. Sorry, I was
blanks. You know so that's not true either. Even with blanks at a certain distance, you can seriously injure and possibly if you place a gun against someone's chest or even within 20 feet with a blank, you can kill them.
Yeah, the impact, just the
force
thud.
of the
the
force of the air coming out.
Yeah.
So. And then the other thing they said was like so anytime that there's typically shooting, especially scenes where a gun is being pointed directly at the camera, right? Two things. One, you don't point directly at the camera, as you just pointed out, right? Because you can, with video trickery, still get the angle you want, even if you're off to the side, right? The second thing is they typically have plexiglass between the camera and the camera, right? And they didn't have that either, right? So there was a whole bunch of safety violations that they bypassed.
Yeah.
And a lot of it now is being blamed by the fact that it was a low budget film, right?
Well, even if it wasn't low budget, the problem is that nobody at a certain point, nobody was giving a fuck. Like nobody was on top of it. Like whether you didn't have enough money in it or not, is that even with the budget they had, people stopped giving a shit. People were quitting right and left. They were going with non-union people because they cost less. Yeah. So then they were also hiring people off the fucking street from wherever just to come in and fill in for the day. Yep. So, and like, you may not even have the names of the people who were on set that day. Yep. Like you have no idea who was doing anything. Everything about the way this movie happened was wrong. Yeah. And it resulted in one person dying, one person being seriously injured.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in the end, I mean, they can charge him with manslaughter all they want, but in the end, he's never going to see jail time.
No, he won't.
He'll either plea bargain out or they'll go, but the assistant director handed me the gun. Yeah. The assistant director handed me the gun. The armorer said that the gun was okay. Yeah. So how is this my fault, right? And everybody's gonna use the gun safety thing, which I 100% agree with, by the way, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. You don't ever point a gun at somebody, regardless of the situation that you think that you're in. You don't ever pull the trigger, right? There's no why are you pulling the trigger, right? So just from the gun safety aspect. If he didn't actually go through any gun safety training, then I could see maybe like something drastic might happen to him, right? But other his legal team,
except for his well, I was gonna say, except for his history of gun training for movies.
Right.
This is not the first movie he's ever fired a gun in. I mean, like, that's the insane part. Is just like, and if he just came out and acknowledged, look, this is all the shit that went down, and I agree, I agree 100%. He's never going to see jail time, because we know now celebrities don't get jail time. Like Jesse Smollett,
OJ Simpson,
2.5 minutes in jail. Well, OJ got jail time later. OJ Simpson went to jail later, but not for the thing that they technically never proved he did.
Right.
Yeah, he went to jail for trying to steal his own shit back.
Yeah, he went to jail for something completely different and served out most of that thing, but he didn't go to jail for the quote unquote real crime. You know, we can't technically ever prove he did.
Quote unquote that it was a real crime. 2 people were murdered. You don't.
I know, but he was not convicted of that.
Yeah, it was still a real crime, whether he was convicted of it or not.
Yes,
but he was convicted of the wrongful death, though. He lost the wrongful death suit.
Oh, I didn't know about that. So either way, but no, the point is, like, no, and plus Alec Baldwin is in his age. He's definitely not going to jail. Now, should they penalize him a fuckload of money? I mean, that doesn't hurt him that much. Should they take away his ability to produce movies so this never is a problem again? Yeah, at least under his guidance.
Doesn't matter. To Ricky's point earlier, right, about, cancel culture and all this stuff, he's never going to work again. He's in.
Oh, sure he will.
I don't.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's going to be on a TV show next week.
Now, will everyone ever give him a gun again? No.
Yes.
Will, like, to me, because maybe they started up this production company just for this movie because it's called Rust Productions. I think they were actually intending to have a whole series of things in this Rust universe. I think that realistically, that production never needs to happen. Like, that needs to be shut down. Everyone involved needs to never touch movies again from the production side, because they had a catastrophic, deadly failure due to their inability to produce a movie properly. So I'm going
on record right now. He'll never work again. It's on record.
He'll do voiceovers.
There'll be proof for when you're wrong.
Now,
no.
I feel bad.
Again, he didn't kill. Dude, he did not kill somebody on purpose. He did not even load the gun. No, I'm telling you, it does matter. When it comes to all this cancel culture shit, he was not the direct cause. He was the accidental cause. Somebody else loaded that gun. Somebody else handed him that gun.
I'm not arguing that. All I'm saying is that I don't think anybody will want to risk the media blowout of having him work.
I think that's fair, all. But I also feel like this, and I know the husband said that now he wants to basically take over in his dead wife's place and finish the movie out. But I'm like, why would anyone in her honor, because it's the last movie she was going to be working on. I'm like, and I get that sentiment, but dude, why would you ever trust this production to go through? And now it's definitely going to be delayed if they go to trial. I'm pretty
sure they're going to be quadruple bazillion checking each individual fucking projectile that's put into that gun.
I'll tell you what, there won't be any guns on set after that.
Like, no, there'll be guns on set, but they'll do that cross cutting where it's only this person with the gun on the stage firing at nothing, and then they'll do like a quick cut that shows the other person supposedly standing across looking at it.
They'll do the squibs, yeah. But they'll do is they'll just go with rubber guns, like some of the productions do.
Like, you just go with airsoft.
Well, yeah,
even that.
One of the the airsoft guns is typically what they do, and the rubber guns are like people in the background. That one of the coolest, I think, quotes I saw from anybody was, and I think it was a director, and they said they basically said it's not worth the risk. Just use airsoft guns, maybe it will look fake to you, but does it really matter? Is it really worth the risk?
Then you just put more money on on post production to make it look better.
This is, and that's kind of what he was, and that's what he led up to that quote. Right? He was like, "Listen, we can do all this stuff in post production, and it might look fake, but do you really care that it looks fake?"
Yeah,
no.
I bet you that lady's husband doesn't care. Like, he wishes it looked fake. He wishes it was fake.
But I mean, any of us that read that story go, yeah, no, it's not worth somebody accidentally getting shot.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's and I mean, at bare minimum, all it needs to do at this point is just up the security level that they already did from the last however many shootings that happened in Hollywood. Like, get better. As like the solution of just never having guns on screen again is dumb. Obviously, that's the extreme, right? And then you've got
everybody gets Nerf guns.
Yeah, everybody gets Nerf guns. We're going the Hasbro route.
CGI guns.
CGI guns. But then, like, yeah, I know they're getting better at and like if you follow Corridor Digital, they talk about really bad looking guns on screen, like where they've clearly done the wrong type of flare, muzzle flash and stuff like that. Even in high budget movies that got it completely wrong. Where I forgot which movie it was a couple weeks ago. I was watching their thing. They break down their effects and stuff like that. So, on a big budget movie, they got the muzzle flash and bullet backwards on screen. Like they flipped the shot but forgot to flip the actual muzzle flash, and it's literally backwards. You can see it is 100% reversed. But the thing is
going
like
into the gun instead out of it.
Yeah, but the quote unquote mushroom coming out is reversed. It's the complete opposite. In a flash, it's fine, but when you're not breaking it down frame by frame, you'll never notice. Yeah. But like obviously some of them are really bad, but like they just need to get better on it. But all the other people are, the ridiculous the anti-gun advocates, they're just going to do everything they can. Is like, yeah, safety needs to be addressed clearly, but you don't also get there by allowing it to happen with no punishment for the people who failed on the safety aspect. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, if there's no punishment for the people who fucked up so bad that someone died, then it doesn't matter what precautions you take later, because then they know there's no incentive to follow it, right? So someone...
My thing is the extremity, like I said last time. Don't just chase him because he's the name and he's the money. It needs to be done properly. The person most responsible was the person who put the bullets in the gun. The person least responsible is the person who pulled the trigger because he was handed a safe gun. Right now, he's responsible. He's responsible because he didn't check. Yeah, but his culpability should be less than the person who actually put live ammo into the gun.
But then we go back to the argument we had before. It's his production that allowed for it to happen in the first place. So that doesn't absolve him.
The production doesn't allow an armorer to accidentally put real bullets into a gun. The armorer did not check the ammo, period, in the story. It doesn't matter who produced it.
Well, but it does. But it does. If he's so, and this is where I think that they're getting away with the fact that they're even charging him with manslaughter and holding him responsible at all. Is that if it's his production company and his money, then his money is helping to make decisions based on safety and blah, 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 right? If at any point in time he had a discussion with the armorer or the director or the first assistant director or anything else about we need to save money here, how can we do that? And they say something stupid like, well, if we drop the CGI stuff for the flash and the muzzle flash and all that stuff, and we use actual ammo to capture that shot, we can save a dump load of money, and he signs off on that.
Yeah,
then we got another problem.
That's 100% correct. Yeah. Right. So the is like he's not absolved of it because he didn't load it and he pulled the trigger because that's what he was supposed to do.
Again, I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying he's less culpable. Like I don't want them going after him because he's Alec Baldwin and he has $1 million.
But once again, not less culpable. He's less culpable in the shooting part, but he's fully culpable in the fact that the shooting happened at all. Because it's
if he was part of the decision-making process that led to the live ammo being on set.
If he's executive producer, well, if I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. The production side was so out of control, it allowed for live ammo to come in from somewhere.
Right.
That no one was even in control of the ammo and the guns off hours. All of that's on the production side. That is all related to the production. Like armor, yes. Armor is controlled by the production.
Yep.
It's like, so he's on the acting end of it. If he was just the actor who pulled the trigger and had nothing to do with the production, I would 100% agree with you, Ricky.
Yep.
It was him being executive producer in his company making this movie that allowed for all of this shit to go dominoes over dominoes over dominoes to the point that he fired a live bullet into a person.
Yeah.
That's like saying that the Attorney General of the United States Postal Service is responsible for somebody coming in and going postal on their coworkers.
So nothing
Just because his production company is in charge of it doesn't mean that he is CEOs and heads of companies are not hands-on in the minutia of every little thing every single day. So they have people under them that are in charge.
He's literally in there every day.
But I'm talking about from the production side. I'm talking about from the production side. When he's the production company.
He's not
He's not in there going, okay, I want Rusty to be the armorer, and he doesn't. That shit never happens. What happens is I come in and I tell him, hey boss, I hired this guy Rusty to be the armorer, and he goes, okay, and signs off on it. That's literally his hands on it, and there's probably 3 or 4 people and layers between that actually happening. So probably I assigned it to my person who assigned it to another person who then hired Rusty in. How does that make him culpable for that?
So I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, right? And that's what I'm saying when it comes to Alec Baldwin, right? If they can prove that he was involved in the decision-making process that led to, so if the Attorney General of the Postal Service was involved in the decision that allowed people to carry guns around in the workplace, then I would potentially hold him responsible. Oh, yeah. Again, to your point, right? Not as much as the guy that actually pulled the trigger, right? But the fact that you let safety standards lapse to the point that people could walk around in the Postal Service buildings with guns, AK-47s or whatever, right? MP5 strapped to their backs, going, hey, look what I'm allowed to carry around. And then that guy snaps and kills a bunch of people.
Or not even snaps and kills people.
Right.
Is showing off his gun and shoots somebody.
And kills somebody, right? So to that point, right, that then I would find the Attorney General of the Postal Service somewhat responsible for allowing that situation to occur. So same thing with Alec Baldwin, right? Again, I'm not saying that he's like you said, right? I don't think he's the person responsible for this situation. I think, again, if they can ever find out, and to Shoky's point, and this is why I'm saying he's not going to go to jail, and to Shoky's point, they're never going to figure out how the hell the live ammo got on set and who approved live ammo being on set. So
live ammo could have been left over from when they were shooting at the cans and shit, right?
But again, that's the point there at all. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
So if he was in the decision-making process that said, yes, let's bring live ammo in so that we can get those shots that you guys want, then yes, that guy goes to jail. Alec Baldwin goes to jail.
So even beyond that, look at it this way. If they already know they're having complaints on the production side, like all the issues from the safety aspect, which happened, all of that happened. Gun safety issues already happening. Whoever kept the decision to keep her as the armorer, knowing all these gun safety problems had gone on, and then someone gets shot because of it.
So they were saying, like, they weren't saying it was gun safety issues. They were saying just safety issues in general.
In general, but I'm saying we already know, like, the armorer themselves, along with anybody handling the gun after said armorer, if they already know that people have been using guns on set with live ammo after hours, they know this. 100%, they knew this. They admitted this day one. The fact that the armorer would ever allow anyone, period, to be handling those weapons in any boxes of ammo, dummy or not, is crazy.
Without quadruple checking it and all that bullshit. And again, that still comes down to the armorer.
And that also comes
that hired the armorer.
I agree 100% that the armorer is more culpable.
And she is responsible.
More responsible than the person that actually pulls the trigger.
But the problem is, in this day and age, it's going to hit Alec Baldwin harder.
Okay, I don't care if
the name and he's the money.
Here's the thing: if it's not Alec Baldwin, it's the other executive producer that allowed for all of this to happen without taking charge and getting rid of everyone who was causing these problems.
Agreed.
So that's where I'm saying he's executive producer. It's his production company that is making those decisions.
Yeah.
Day on day, he pulled the trigger. Yes. Outside of that, they allowed all of this to continue because of money. If we're going to go there, it's because of money. We already said that. They want to save money. They cut corners. They cut corners to the point that someone died. The person who is signing those checks and cutting those corners, and I don't care if it's everyone up the fucking chain. I said that from the get-go. Everyone up the chain, from the bullet being pulled to the person who kept signing her checks after they knew everything was going wrong with the guns, needs to be dealt with and needs to go to jail. I don't give a fuck how many billions of dollars you have, how many movies you've been in. All of those people allowed for that. Even to the assistant director guy said, look, I fucked up, but I didn't do this and I didn't do this, but this is my part. And he admitted to his part. Everyone else who's fighting back, even if it goes all the way to the point that they say Alec Baldwin made the specific choice to keep her on his armorer after knowing all these safety concerns happened with the ammo and the guns, then he's culpable because he allowed for the situation that was already out of hand to continue to the point that he shot someone. But that's really that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. By the way, solid discussion, guys.
Yes.
Solid.
Yes, and we are running out of time as I'm looking at the clock here.
Do you want to do the Shazam trailer, or do you want to do Ezra?
Well,
Miller?
let's move on to Ezra Miller.
Shazam.
So moving on to the other thing.
Fuck you. Happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah. Fuck your birthday. So, also, what just sounded like a horrendous fart or a shart just now? What was that?
Sitting back in my new chair. It's leather.
Oh, it sounded like a horrendous shart. I'm going to leave that in.
It has
too,
has like a lower back pillow.
Yeah,
are you inside or outside now?
Back porch.
You're still on the porch.
With a leather chair on your back porch? Nice.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
It rolls indoors too if it needs
to. I wish I was living Ricky's life. No, I don't. I take that back. I take it
back.
To
Florida.
Oh.
Move to Florida.
This is for my wife's birthday. We bought her a new desk chair. This is her old one. It's not like I went out and bought.
Nice.
It's not like leather. It's like pleather. It's an office desk gamer chair.
It's vinyl bullshit.
Yeah.
So as long as it has better padding than mine does, because I'm actually sitting on a CPAP hard foam pillow because I have no padding left in my chair. It's just like sitting on hard plastic and it hurts my ass.
I'm sitting on a limited edition Optimus Prime and a seat gaming chair.
Yes, they probably cost way too much, and you had to drive to America
and I had to
get
drive
it.
to the US to get it. And you guys know how much I hate driving to America.
I mean, you should just move here.
No.
We have anyways.
So
let's talk about Ezra Miller again.
Motherfuckers stay up there in Putin land.
With my free healthcare?
Yeah, free. That's what it is.
It's quote unquote free.
It's totally free. I can see your freedom is everywhere. I see your freedom all over those places. So Canada's leaking freedom out of its gulag. So Ezra Miller.
I called this.
You called nothing.
Yes, I did. I said it was all blown out of proportion. And people were mishandling it and doing that fucking clickbaity bullshit.
That has nothing to do with him pleading guilty to what he did.
Yeah, but what he pleaded guilty to was the actual facts. The gun thing where the kid was in the video with
those
the gun
are
and all
all separate. He's pleading to the one crime that he did here. In the other cases where he committed other crimes that are either
what other crimes did he commit? No, that he committed.
Oh, the assaulting people. The assaulting people,
the lady somebody,
the lady he threw a chair at, the one he choked out, the people he harassed in Hawaii. Those are all real charges brought against him.
The people that he harassed in Hawaii were the parents of the kid that did.
There were other things in Hawaii, not just that.
So I'm gonna jump in here because I'm gonna bring a non-US perspective to this entire conversation because when you sent that to me, I started reading a bunch of articles on this, and I want to know what US law is there that if somebody steals your alcohol, and I understand that there's unlawful trespass involved, when you steal alcohol, when one American steals alcohol from another American, that you can go to jail for 25 years.
I think it was just the breaking and entering part.
Even that's not 25 years. So
no, listen. So when I first read the article, I was scrolling through it. I'm reading through. Okay. So he stole alcohol. And then there was a part of this, like he faces jail time up to 25 years. And I'm going, what? Like when Canadians steal alcohol from each other, they go,
it's called Tuesday.
Exactly.
Sorry.
You took my beer. Yeah, no, I was out. Oh, you were out. Oh, okay, cool, man. Sorry, I didn't know you were out of beer, and we're done. Right? Like,
I think that there's more than they're just
years. I think that 25 years was if all the charges were
because it wasn't just the theft part. It was also, I think, B&E and aggravated assault.
And then they had the kidnapping charge.
Well, okay, no. You one at a time, Ricky. One at a time. We're talking about the 25 crime.
years. What I'm saying is the 25 years, I think, would have been a grand
total.
No.
This is only this charge in this case. This has nothing to do with anything else he had done. So I think it was B&E. Like, they broke into this house, and I think it was an aggravated assault situation. And then they stole the liquor. But he pled it out to getting just like the theft. So he's got like a fine and 1 year probation for the theft part. Got rid of all this because he admitted guilt to those things. Or at least no contest, which is not necessarily guilty, which is a little complicated when you get into those different ways they do that. But the fact that he's still on the look, I recognize I've got some major mental issues going on, and I'm going to be dealing with it, is all the super important part of it. Like, throw out all the crazy shit that happened like last summer with the weird thing going on where he was running from everybody with
he was in the Speed Force.
Yeah, with the whole weirdness. Eliminate the
Rusty,
the gray zone.
That, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually posted that like on his Instagram or Twitter or something.
Yeah, that's right.
They'll never catch me. I'm into Speed Force.
I heard about it. I was like,
it was something. It's like, I'm out in another world or something. It wasn't the Speed Force specifically. It was something else he posted. But yeah, but like eliminating just that weird gray zone of kidnapping, quote unquote, grooming, eliminating that because there's no technical crime that happened there, but there may have been crimes that happened along the path going to this very specific situation. Good. At least he's taking fucking responsibility for something he fucking did. And I'm on board for that. Not just, I'm so famous you can't touch me, which we kind of talked about before. Like, sure, he's not going to jail, but he's got 1 year probation. He fucks that up, we know what happens.
He gets 2 years probation.
Or he goes to jail for a certain amount of time. Either way. Usually they don't let probation slide, you know. But he did plead down to at least the 1 year probation. But good. At least, like, get some help. Start taking the shit you're doing seriously, because, well, it's like it could just escalate. It was already escalating from like just sort of having a run-in with somebody in Ireland to assaulting someone in fucking Hawaii to now breaking into someone's house and stealing their shit, even though you're a multi-millionaire, you can get whatever the fuck you want. It's like,
he's not a multi-millionaire.
Sure he is. The fucker's been in Hollywood for years. He's fucking signed on as big name shit. He's a fucking multi-millionaire. Not to mention he's internet famous, which means you're automatically a millionaire. We're not famous. We're not millionaires, so we wouldn't know. Well, I don't know about Rusty.
Rusty's in my leather chair.
Rusty's got, you know, Canadian millions.
So thousands,
which is like $10.
Yeah, exactly, the conversion rate. But it's just the fact. I mean, he was arrested for a real crime. All that other stuff with the trans person from Hawaii, all that stuff, you can't prove a real crime there, other than if he technically took an underage person from their parents and went off traversing the world with alcohol and everything else. But if you can prove a crime, charge with a crime. Otherwise, it's just really fucked up behavior. The actual crimes that he's committed, cool. Let's see some real fucking resolution to that. And if it, like I said before, if he fucking gets help, gets his head straight, and figures out, you know, what the fuck is going on that's leading to these things, whether it's just being a Hollywood dickhead.
Question: have you ever you like to go out and drink beers and shit? So let's go in our younger days. You ever been in a bar fight?
Nope.
Never in your life been in a bar fight?
Nope.
Once actually, and it's funny. I was in the bar fight in Germany, but go ahead.
So you were in a bar fight. How much time did you serve?
Oh, 0, because okay, so
but you broke the law is what I'm pointing at, and that's a lot of this dude, like the slapping of the people and the fighting of the people. They leave out like it was out of a bar. They had a fight and an argument in the bar. That went into the streets.
One was in a Walmart.
Yeah.
When he choked that lady out, that was in a Walmart.
That
was
wasn't. No, when he choked that lady, it was like at a Comic-Con thing or something, wasn't it?
No, it was like in a store.
I thought it was like at a Comic-Con thing where she like walked up to him because he's the Flash and she wanted like a picture or some bullshit.
No, it was in like a store.
So
Comic-Con would have made sense, but no. I get your point, but the thing is like just because you might go to jail for that one night because nobody pressed charges. If no one presses charges on you, you're not going to see jail time.
If you're not Ezra Miller, who's a millionaire in Hollywood because he's been there for years and nobody's pushing charges. You're Joe Bob and we got into an argument at the bar and I slapped the fuck out of you. You're not pushing charges. That's the point.
Sorry, it was outside a bar in Iceland.
I know.
Wait, what?
It was a couple outside a bar in Iceland. The choking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the video.
Yeah, no, I did. No, I'm with you, Ricky. Like, I got so myself and 3 Canadians and an American that were hanging out at a pub in Germany.
Sounds like a setup to a joke.
It is 3 Canadians and
4 Canadians and an American.
Yeah, go into a bar. The American passes out, and the Canadians go home.
So an American and what equates to 1 American.
Okay. Oh, shots fired. Okay, good.
An American and 4 quarters of an American.
So we got into a bar fight.
4 quarters.
Yep.
we got into a bar fight with some Germans, and it staggered outside into the patio. And at the end of it, we actually all shook hands and went back inside and got wasted.
So no one needed to charge.
Right?
No. He broke the law. He assaulted somebody.
Yes, but
it does not fucking matter.
I didn't get charged.
Exactly. You know why? Because you're Joe Blow from Canada and you're not Ezra Miller.
Exactly.
Or he didn't punch someone who would file charges.
Again, that same person would have been punched in the real world by Joe Blow. Nothing happens.
Or they didn't break anyone's shit.
In the DCU, they get charged because all people in this litigious fucking world that we fucking live in now, if you have more than $10 in your bank, somebody's coming for your money. Like they look for a fucking reason. So when you're a famous actor pumping out 2 of the 3 biggest movies in the last 2 years and you're all over the internet and you're all over the news and you're all over Instagram and all that shit. And you hit me, I'm suing the fuck out of you. I love Michael Jackson. I love his music. I think he got a very bad rap, but I'm telling you right now, if I'd ever been to Neverland, I'd have said he touched me in the butthole just so I could get some of that money. Because that's how this world is. I don't mean me personally. What I'm saying is that's how this world is.
That's just the way the world works. Yeah.
So to your point, Ricky, I don't care if it's a Hollywood celebrity or my little.
I get that you don't, lady. But if it wasn't a Hollywood celebrity,
but what I'm saying is, someone breaks into my house drunk as fuck and trying to steal my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, filing charges. I don't give a fuck if they're Ezra Miller or somebody else.
That's the breaking and entering part. You're not filing charges because you stole your beer. You're not filing charges because you got into a bar fight with them. You're not filing charges because your grown adult daughter left the country with them. You're not doing any of that shit. You're doing it because he
grown adult is pretty.
But
she was 18. That's a grown adult.
Not when the relationship started.
Oh my god, there was no fucking relationship.
There was.
Okay. There's no implied relationship. How about that?
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether charges would have been laid or not. We never would have heard about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. The only reason why we've been here is because he is a star.
It's Ezra Miller.
And by the way, I was just scanning over the article about the bar fight. Was literally the same situation like that I just described of us and the Germans. Right. It was a friend of the woman that got assaulted, sort of poked at Ezra and said, "You don't even know how to fight." To which Ezra took exception to and chased the guy outside the bar, where they got into an altercation where she got involved. But at the end of the night, they all washed their hands of it and walked away for whatever reason, right? Because he's in the media, right? Yep. In the spotlight, it came to light. If that was any other human
because it was on camera. It was on camera. That's why.
Fine, fair enough. Again, any other person, it would have been a world star video, and that would have been
it would have been on TikTok, maybe.
So that like what happened with Dana White and his wife over New Year's when they got into that little altercation. That was no, it is because the only reason it mattered is because it was on camera. Who gives a shit if he slaps his wife and vice versa if nobody sees it?
That is not the same.
That is the thing. The only difference is Ezra got into a fight with nobody, and then Dana
Ezra.
White got into a fight with his wife in public.
It doesn't have to be Ezra got into a fight with somebody. Ezra got into a fight.
Yeah, but
right?
but I'm also saying
media. Who fucking cares?
But I'm saying if it wasn't filmed,
right?
Who cares?
No, but
like the only reason it mattered and that anybody gave a shit, and like you were saying, is like if no one got it on camera and then someone filed the charges elsewise,
anyway,
then it almost doesn't matter, right? Or they have the fight, no one files charges, and it goes nowhere,
right?
Like it originally did, but no one got it on camera. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know, but that's what I'm getting at. If it's you said because it got into the media. That's what I'm saying. It got in the media because somebody filmed it because everybody has a fucking camera on.
But everybody has a camera. But even if it was two nobodies, the most that would have happened is it would have shown up on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it would have gotten a few 100,000 views.
And I get it's because he's famous. I'm not denying that.
Right.
But
giving a shit. But it's Ezra, so.
But if it wasn't okay, so say it wasn't somebody like Ezra. Say it's like your fucking county judge.
Sure.
It becomes a big deal on a local level because somebody who's quote unquote important did the same thing that a nobody could do.
Right.
But they're not above the law. I mean, in this case, technically, a county judge would be above in the literal sense. But but the point is, they're not exempt because they're famous. They're just made public because they're famous.
Right. But
committing the crime is still committing the crime. It's how it's dealt with is what is mattering in the ultimate end.
Two people get into a fight, nobody presses charges, nobody hears about it. In
and
this
situation,
two people get into a fight, nobody pressed charges, it's all over the news. Why? Right?
Just because he was famous.
Right? Now, if we go down to what he's currently doing the plea deal on, right, is if he's having mental issues, right?
Which, by the way, as much as we're going on about this, I want to reiterate what Shoki said earlier. Good on him for owning that.
Right, exactly. Yes, I agree 100%. So if he's having mental issues, so it's interesting to note that he stole alcohol out of his neighbor's house when they were not home. They were away on vacation. So I suspect he knew they were away on vacation and decided, I don't have any alcohol in the house. I want to get some alcohol in whatever mental state that he was in, and decided, I'm just going to go next door and get alcohol from the neighbors. Right?
Yeah.
That's not cool. Right. But at the same time, if that's
who has that mindset,
right? Exactly. That's what his mental state
entitled people have that mindset.
And now he's stepping up and going, yeah, I was a little fucked in the head. I don't know why I did what I did. At the time I thought it was okay to do that.
But even
not okay.
But even all the things could be the same root cause, but he never bothered to look into it because either enablers or I'm too famous, fuck off.
Yep.
Whatever that mental state is that allowed for all of this crazy string of behavior.
Yep.
Like everything, either the bar fights, the stealing shit,
Yep.
whatever the fuck happened in Hawaii that led to that whole situation.
Yeah.
All of it could have one root cause that nobody's ever cared to look at.
Right.
Because famous.
Yep.
But now because somebody pressed charges, effectively pressed charges, not just did and got swept under the rug,
right?
Effectively pressed charges. Now somebody has to pause and go, well, maybe I should actually look at this because enough people are saying that I'm fucked up. Maybe I am.
Yeah, or even the people around him, right? Like if
exactly,
so what is it?
Inner circle.
Who's the owner of the movie? Is it Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers, DC, all that. Yeah,
Discovery.
Yeah, so they're right.
Discovery now. Yeah,
so they're standing behind him and saying we support him, which is cool, right? And only time will now tell if that.
Well, they kind of have to because his movie is the one that's going to quote unquote fix everything.
Well, okay, fair, maybe, right? So,
but I hate that matters.
Right. Yeah, agreed. Exactly, right. So
going back to the Alec Baldwin.
This whole thing only matters because he's famous, and they only matter. It only matters to them because he's famous, and his movie's gonna fix their shit.
So only time will tell, though, if Warner Brothers is making the right decision or not. Will Ezra get the help he needs? Will he, continue to work and whatever, or will he just say fuck it and become Kanye West? Yeah. By the way. Yes, I agree. The theories and all that stuff. The Flash movie, maybe we're getting a Flashpoint movie, which is just going to reset everything and let James Gunn do its thing. But at the same time, at this point, I'm okay if Warner Brothers
just did a hard reset.
Just goes, drop that thing in the trash can and let's just disassociate ourselves from this, hand the keys over to James Gunn, walk away, and
that's
do a
me.
hard reset.
And
I'm
I
not.
get no.
I'm not that guy.
The only reason people want the Slash movie is exactly the reason for Ricky. It's got Michael Keaton as Batman in it. It's the only reason they give a fuck. If he was not in it, they would all agree.
That's not
throw
true
it in the trash.
I liked Ezra Miller's Flash, so I don't agree with that.
Everyone would agree. Throw it in the trash. Nobody would give it outside.
I'm telling you, you're wrong. I'm one person telling you you're wrong on that.
And you're wrong because you would.
How you gonna tell me I'm wrong on my opinion?
Because you have argued.
Because I liked Ezra Miller.
You have argued on this show.
That is the most important part of it, but not the only reason for it.
Nobody would give a shit if the Flash got canned because the rest of the universe has been canned.
You can't say nobody because I'm one somebody, and I'm telling you, I would care.
Not enough somebodies financially give a shit.
That's a factual statement.
The only
not enough people.
The only people that really want this movie to go forward are people who just want the nostalgia, and the other people, the same people, got mad at them canning Batgirl. Or
no, again, I got
Batwoman.
mad about that because the movie was fucking done. Just put the goddamn thing out. Even if it's a piece of shit, put it on fucking streaming. Allow me to watch it and choose whether I think it's a piece of shit. Not 5 guys wearing a tie in a boardroom.
Nah, it's more like several hundred people that said, "Fuck this is a piece of trash. Don't put it out."
Including Alec Baldwin. No, sorry.
Yeah, including Alec Baldwin. No, if Alec Baldwin had a problem with it, he would just let it keep going.
Shot somebody.
So we now have to change the terminology of take a shot at. Yeah, we can't say take a shot at anymore, according to whatever that college was. That said we can't say things. So just real quick, speaking of DC things that are still going forward, we do have the Shazam 2 trailer, the second trailer.
2.
Honestly, they're like showing so much.
Rangers.
I don't know if I care.
It's Power Rangers at this point.
So you know what? The only reason why I watched the trailer again because I did see it before. So the only reason why I think I actually care is the same comments that we made about the Ant-Man trailer, where like before Ant-Man was kind of goofy side character, right? Whatever. But in Quantumania, he seems to have some skin in the game, right? Like there's some tragic thing that's going to happen if he doesn't follow through on whatever the plot is. And I'm getting the same sense with if you watch the Shazam trailer, right, that there's some skin in the game for him now, right? If he doesn't do something about this, right? If he doesn't grow up quick and stop,
his family dies.
Exactly, right?
Which is actually.
But here's the thing: is I've always liked Shazam as a comic character. I do not like the Shazam family. I always thought it was stupid, very, very stupid.
Which I think is why they're getting rid of them in this movie.
Well, they're not getting rid of them; they're introducing them in this movie because
they're stealing their powers.
In the other one, but he's going to stop them and give them. The worst thing about this is 90-year-old Helen Mirren donkey kicking the fuck out of that dude.
That is actually funny.
This is wild as fuck.
Okay, so I think what they're going to do is actually going with, what you were saying about that. The actual stakes in the game is like his not Flash family. Fuck, wrong DC universe with a lightning bolt in a red. Wow.
Yeah, that's not confusing at all. Right?
That's not confusing.
Say DC Superman.
Yeah, so the other DC Superman. The
call him Captain Marvel. Let's really get it confused with Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
So either way, in the first place, he gave them the powers in the first movie. I honestly didn't expect them to keep rolling with that into this one, but hey, it is what it is. But then to see them losing their powers in battle, meaning that they could potentially easily die, and then he's actually asking the old wizard to take the powers back.
Take the powers away. Yeah.
So but the biggest issue I had with it in the first movie was that quote unquote wisdom of Solomon part is not there. Is no,
it's the wise ass of Kanye.
So he's silly and still a kid. Now, mind you, even in the cartoons when they first brought him in, of course, everybody thinks he's an adult. Nobody realizes he's a kid. But then he starts saying kid-like things. He still has a consciousness, but he doesn't have the knowledge. He doesn't have the smarts all of a sudden. He has the strength. He's got all the other powers, but he doesn't have any of the wisdom to do anything there. It makes no fucking sense. It's so I think it's going to be a kick in the pants for this at some point where he suddenly has that part of it, or for whatever reason. But
that's right.
I think it holds a lot of gravitas in the thing. It looks like it's going to be a heavy movie. And I don't know if that's the way to go because the first one was jokey and that's why people liked it because it was lighthearted. It was a breath of fresh air after the darkness of all the other Snyder stuff. So I don't know if people are going to be okay with Shazam all of a sudden taking a turn to the darker more
but if you-
emotionally strong stuff. I don't mind it. I liked the darker stuff. That's
Right.
where I want my DC to be. I don't want DC to be slapsticky. We got Thor for that.
Well,
So,
and I was just about to say that as I was look at what happened to Thor, right? Like
Yeah.
it got too goofy.
but
right?
Shazam was always kind of funny because,
Like,
again, like Shoki just
because
said,
it's-
he was
yeah.
always a kid
He's a
inside.
kid, right? With all these,
So it was
different-
always kind of tongue in cheek funny.
Yeah.
So it made sense for Shazam to be a funny movie. They just went too much with it.
See,
And this one now they're going too much the opposite direction. It's like they can't find the porridge is too hot, the porridge is too cold. They can't find that this porridge is just right. Like that's the problem.
So my problem with at least this trailer is it seems like it shows a lot.
Yeah, like it's giving away a lot. They're showing a lot of the cards in their hands in this one.
So my issue is the same thing with the Ant-Man. If this is what they're showing, what are they holding back?
Like, it better be something good.
If this is most of the plot, quote unquote, just speculation, what the fuck are they holding on to? Because what it looks like it's the same trope of every superhero thing. Once the responsibility kicks in too hard, please take my powers back. I can't do this. I don't have it in me. Take the powers back.
He's gonna go have a talk with somebody that he trusts. That's like his guiding person.
5 minutes later,
and he's gonna teach him that the power was inside him the whole time. Blah.
Or he gives the powers up to the bad guys, gives them what they want, and then tries to go about his business. They start doing more evil thing.
And then he realizes he has to step up and do something.
And then he finds out, well, you didn't really give the powers to them. You know, you just got to say this keyword and you're good again. You know,
say Shazam 2.0 and your suit will be flashy rainbow colors. And
see, that's what
I do.
Yeah, but see, that's what this trailer leads me to believe.
Feels like.
Which means it's DC, and odds are it's not going to be that.
So I think they're going.
The question is, what are they really going to do? I think it's going to be like super dark.
I think it's gonna be super dark, super heavy, and I don't know if people are gonna flock to it. I don't think it's gonna do good.
And I also,
I don't care. Again, I don't care about the Marvel family. Like fuck all of them. I hope they all fucking die except for Shazam, because then I don't have to worry about them being in a movie no goddamn more.
But if they tie this into Flashpoint, it might be interesting.
They'll just reset it all.
Yeah, I don't feel
because remember they kill the Flashpoint.
Oh really?
Oh, in Flashpoint, yeah.
Oh, I missed
because the thing is that Billy Batson was dead and everybody else took on the powers, and they had to summon Shazam together because one person couldn't hold it. So if you killed any of them, you had no more Shazam. So when they come in and they kill off like most of them and leave one kid, he can't actually use the Shazam powers anymore.
Yep.
So it would be interesting if they redid any of this movie, given what they planned on with the Flash movie. Would be interesting. And it proves that this is the Flashpoint universe all around. That would be interesting. Yeah. So either way.
Yeah, I'm with you though on the like it does feel like the entire movie has been crammed into a 2.5 minute
it's like
shot trailer.
It's like, what do I need to watch this for? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that I want to go back to the old days where trailers didn't really exist. And you just went off the movie poster on whether you wanted to watch something.
And remember there was like the
everybody would sit around and guess and try to figure out what it was.
You had the commentator in the background going, on a dark night on a Sunday evening in January, right? John McClane went to go see his ex-wife in the tower. Little did he know.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
just give me the plot. I don't need the scenes. Just give me the plot.
Give me a plot. Don't make me guess at the plot. Let me see the movie otherwise. Or give me a very vague plot. Yeah. But give it to me in a voiceover. Don't just show me every important scene or every funny scene. It's like, that's the more annoying part. When they give you a movie that's going to be some slapstick and then some serious, and they give you every fucking funny scene in the trailer. It's like, what the hell am I watching this for? It's like, or why am I paying good money to go watch this when I've watched everything important in a 2-minute runtime, you know? And I feel like it's the TikTok thing where it's like, we got to have some type of all important short thing to keep your attention. And if we don't give you enough, then you won't bother. It's like, no, we would probably go see it. Like Wakanda Forever, had you just gone with the 10-second TV spot, we were all probably going to go see that movie. But trailer 2 gave away so much bullshit from that movie. I mean, the fact that it didn't bother holding on to the Ironheart 2.0 fucking suit as a secret, or the fucking the new Black Panther suit. It's like, why? It's like, you could have held back all that shit and let people experience that. You didn't. You fucking dropped all the big shit in the trailer, even if it was like half a fucking frame. It's like, but the way we live now is we watch everything to the nth of the degree so that we can get watch time talking about it on the internet, you know? Yep. So it's like, go back to no trailers, and then like 95% of YouTube's fucking content goes away because all the fucking nerds won't have anything to talk about until they see the fucking movie. Or
excuse me, I'm one of those nerds. I feel attacked.
I'm one of those nerds too, so I understand.
Okay. But you're not a real nerd because you're Canadian, so.
You guys.
He's a nerd.
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 He's a skid.
No, you have to put a French accent on it. Nerd.
Nerd. Yes. You gotta have some fucking funny.
Not that nerd sounds a lot like Niet. Very Russian of you.
Niet.
Well, Canada is kind of like Russia.
That's why I said it.
Why? Because it's cold and snowy up here? Is that? I don't understand.
And you just want to be America.
Communism and the gulags.
All you want is American genes.
You come over, you smuggle stuff out of America to make your country better.
This is true, and you also try to conquer
Ukraine. Don't before you argue with me, Rusty.
No,
what your ass is sitting in. Look what your ass is sitting in. You literally came and smuggled it from America to make Canada better.
If I look underneath, there's a tag on it that says "Made in China."
Yeah, but we bought it from China. We didn't smuggle it from them.
Okay, we sent it to China to make for us because we can't pay Americans.
I smuggled
it. I'm saying. Yeah. You took it from the U.S. to make Canada better.
Yeah, you smuggled it across that super secure border we have on the north.
the invisible line.
Yeah. They're all invisible lines.
One side throws poutine at you, and the other one throws potatoes at you.
All stuff. Words are made up.
Yeah.
So either way, one last thing before we go. Invincible 2 teaser trailer.
What the hell is this?
Have you ever seen
Invincible? Talking about Invincible with Mark Wahlberg?
No, Invincible, the animated comic show.
You dickhead.
I didn't even know what this thing was until you said.
Oh, did you not watch Invincible season 1?
No, I didn't even know.
Go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. It's really good.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's good.
Yeah. Okay.
So my critique here, one, I'm glad we're getting season 2 because I really enjoyed the first one, and they left on a fucking cliffhanger. And there's so much more story to Invincible from here. That they didn't do anymore, there'd be a lot of pissed off people. My problem is, what the fuck is going on with the animation? I swear to God that they did the CG cell shaded route, not just straight up animating it. Like, okay, so Russell, you only just saw this teaser. You've never seen the show.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the teaser.
Oh, watch the teaser and you'll see immediately what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like, what still frames look exactly like the animated show. When they start moving and talking, you can tell it looks like fucking CG, like 3D character cell shaded, and it's fucking weird, and I hate it. Like, it does not look right. It does not look right at all, because the original one is definitely a normal animated show, but with 3D stuff like buildings and whatnot, you know, and they're flying around in 3D sometimes, but like it's actual just straight up regular 2D animation. You know, whether that's digital or not doesn't matter. It's still 2D. This is clearly 3D playing it being 2D or 2.5D, and it fucking looks wrong, and I don't like it.
Tell us how you really feel, Shoky.
Now, if they
get
did
it out of here,
if they only did it for the trailer, good. If they animate the whole fucking show like this, people are gonna hate it because it's like one of those things you can't unsee, you know. Much like the chick from Last of Us looking like Haley Joel Osment. In that one scene. In that one scene specifically.
Well, I'm just saying that one was a really close up of his face.
I know. I'm joking. Yeah.
Another one, if you really want to see it, go watch AI. Oh my God.
I believe from AI, yeah.
Yeah, with the blank face and stuff. He looks just like him.
Also, I think one thing that's weird about it, going back just to that topic, I think Ellie's supposed to have brown eyes and she has black eyes.
Oh, for the love of Christ. Just not.
Actually, I think Ellie has green eyes.
With
a little bit of brown flecks in it.
Maybe behind blue eyes.
Yeah. No, that's a great song, though.
Yeah.
The Limp Bizkit version.
I like the Limp Bizkit version.
I do too. That's why I said
they did
a
good job with it. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Who still are awesome, but...
Yep.
Sorry, what? The Limp Bizkit version of what now?
Behind Blue Eyes.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
From Gothica soundtrack.
Sure.
I mean, I had the album that it was on, so I mean, it was one of the few good songs on that album. If I'm honest, we need to talk music one of these days. We don't talk music enough over here on this channel.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.